Hello my friends and enemies alike, hope you're as good as can be in these dark times. This is the part 2 of the eviction conclusion, and I shall be replaying the audio recording of GreenSquareAccord operative Angela Jennings, but with some additional evidence attached beforehand for you to hear her words versus my evidence. I will show you why GreenSquareAccord, with all their power and money and even with their £500 an hour barristers, after a year off me allegedly not paying rent, still refused to file the notice of possession with the court. I wonder why Angela Jennings, who of course expects you to believe GSA operatives would never view YouTube videos of themselves being reported in a complaint, or receive recorded delivered mail relating and addressed to them after constantly sending me threats for me to address these issues that she only recently found out about allegedly, which I have already been doing for the past year with herself, Ruth Cook, and via numerous operatives since she dispatched the notice of possession against me. I am limited as to what I can disclose at this point evidence-wise. However, here is a signed receipt that predates Angela Jennings' court notice of possession, of me requesting a meeting to discuss the service charge matters, after I discovered the service charge abuse at this complex, which of course was ignored, in favor of implementing the GSA way, which in my experience, mainly consists of threats, bullying, intimidation, lots of emotional distress, with a sprinkle of insidious misdirection. The service charge abuse continues to provide a constant influx of free, unvetted cash. It is this indiscriminate abuse of tenants and taxpayers alike, which has been making GreenSquareAccord a nice tidy profit for years, whilst providing very little in return. And the best part for Ruth Cook, nobody is checking GSA's notice of possession. Note the date at the top left and the dual names at the bottom. It takes roughly 3 months to file the paperwork with the court, and then around 3 to 4 months later you're in court and presented with the evidence. Listen closely to Angela's own words. I have only recently become aware of the service charge issues. Then please pay attention on how she avoids giving me the date of her immoral visit, by playing dumb and pretending that she's not reading from her prepared notes, or that the information is not on the computer in front of her. And of course her plausible answer is, and I quote, different departments have different access to different departments. Thank you for verbally confirming what we all know, and that is GreenSquareAccord operate with a complete lack of communication. To be fair, this is one of my all-time favorites. And I quote, just because it's got my name on it doesn't mean it comes to me. Priceless. Thank you, Angela. You have just unwittingly compounded your upcoming Royal Mail complaint more than you know. I shall make sure to quote your careless words in GreenSquareAccord's or Quadient upcoming Royal Mail criminal complaint, that's in breach of the 2000 Postal Services Act, that I have just filed with yourselves and the mail company that you use, know as Quadient, formerly identified as Neo Post, who GSA have already previously blamed for delaying and withholding my signed for Royal Mail, and so far ignored by both companies. No matter. Let's see you ignore a Royal Mail criminal complaint. This is page 3 of my rebuttal relating to my notice of eviction addressed and sent to Angela Jennings and signed for by GreenSquareAccord nearly a year ago, or recently if calculated with Angela Jennings' calendar. I call her incompetent for a good reason. Please read how she is in breach of number 4 of her own notice of possession and thus in breach of the 1988 Act she's relying on to evict me, of which incidentally, these were the first documents sent to Angela Jennings personally way back in 2025 and also evidenced upon GSA's computer systems. Her grounds for evicting me 10 and 11 were rent-related, are easily defendable in court, even for me and with what little I understand. Now the unexplained ground 12 is what Angela Jennings was after when she turned up at this property to provoke me into kicking off at her and breaching my tenancy agreement. Ground 12 states roughly, something has been broken or not performed other than the non-payment of rent. Someone at GreenSquareAccord calculated I would react with vengeance when confronted by someone I find lacking in moral fiber and who I hold personally responsible for my pending unlawful eviction. This could have turned into a real bad situation confronting me like that on my doorstep, but that was the point for me to react badly, and hey presto, tenancy breached. Ground 12 achieved of her own eviction. Now we no longer need grounds 10 or 11. All my health conditions are documented upon their systems and have been for a long time. When was due diligence performed? Where was my risk assessment? Where was my CPN's informed involvement? Where was the advance notice of her visit? My argument is that she attended this property without warning, with the premeditated agenda of provoking me into breaching my tenancy agreement and weaponizing my condition to do it, in order to achieve the aloof ground 12 of her own eviction, which only works if those mechanisms implemented for my protection are circumvented, and as you can hear in the recording, her actions never even made it into their own nefarious upheld stage 1 and 2 complaints after her being reported for being the main protagonist, which were rejected by me at both stages, and her answer for all this: I didn't know, or I wasn't aware at the time. I leave it to you and the judge to decide if you prefer her account or mine. Here is Angela Jennings' complaint that was attached to a letter sent and signed for to Ruth Cook personally, who Angela Jennings confirmed she has no knowledge of, or the video evidence attached to the complaint. Though she may appear dumb and plays the dizzy acolyte role well, she is either complicit or incompetent, but I shall wager both, for she has been involved from day one. My evidence shows she strategically turned up the one day my CPN was not available. Then I discovered later by my CPN that she had supplied GreenSquareAccord of the times she was available to discuss matters relating to me. And so I can say with conviction, Angela Jennings, you're a liar, and the GreenSquareAccord records and your own words prove it. Sorry for going on, but there's just too much evidence to show you why their eviction failed. Thank you for your patience, but I shall shortly wrap it up for now. Oh yes, I almost forgot. I have just filed and had acknowledged by the Information Commissioner's Office GreenSquareAccord's data protection complaint. Listen out for when she says I can give you the exact arrays, but I don't believe those are true. Now that is the GSA way. How in the hell can you give me the exact figures then if you don't believe your own company's accounting? Shifting blame to we're trying to contact the service charge department. Ask yourself, what does that even mean? That she's have been trying to contact a department within her own company? Nothing whatsoever, apart from another example of a lack of communication from the service charge department, who in her haste to blame inadvertently admits they have ignored her just like they do me, confirming once again a lack of communication. Let's check her adding up as she states it in the recording. My monthly rent is £417.99, which is 96.46 a week according to Angela Jennings' own confusing calculations. And let's not forget, admits for all to hear, that she does not believe the calculations herself. £96.40 times 4 equals £385.84, not £417.99. To be fair, maths is not my strong suit, so maybe she is correct. 2 plus 2 do indeed equal 5. But only if you use one of Del Boy's calculators with a GreenSquareAccord operative at the helm. If everything you hear from Angela Jennings' lips is true and correct, then why am I not evicted and already on the streets after a nearly year of non-payment of the full rent? Listen to her try to get off the phone sharpish before informing me of the fact that they were no longer evicting me, knowing my condition and surely understanding the distress of being evicted for anyone. She says nothing until forced to. What a nasty piece of work. GreenSquareAccord cannot allow my evidence to go before a court versus their evidence, because their expensive solicitors have to mislead the court, and that's a big no-no, even for them. And that's why there's no court case after all GreenSquareAccord's malicious failed attempts for a year to place me in breach of my tenancy, because they planned and failed miserably to obtain ground 12 in their notice of possession. Enjoy.
Oh, hello Laura, sorry I'm a bit croaky at the moment. I think it's Thursday you were calling.
No, it's today.
No, don't worry, it's fine. Okay, so let me just find my notes. Basically, Mrs. has some rent arrears. Now I think he's got an ongoing query with regard to his service charge, which I understand, but he's not even covering the rent element with what he's paying.
Okay, do you mind if I just pass you on to Mark?
Yeah, of course you can.
Hello.
Hello, miss. My name's Angela. I'm from the customer accounts team at GreenSquareAccord. Basically, I've been trying to contact you with regard to your rent.
Which,
yeah?
My rent's been paid every month.
Okay. I understand that you've got a query with regard to your service charges.
There's not a
chase that up.
Can I just stop you there, please? There's not a query, there's a complaint. There's an ICL complaint, there's lots of numerous complaints, you see.
Okay, I don't know about them because they don't come to me.
Well, you've got 2 complaints yourself and 3 videos up on YouTube, so I'm surprised that you don't know.
I don't know, no. Okay.
So you haven't done any due diligence then with this
What do you mean?
Well, you just said you don't know about the complaints. I've rebutted everything you've said. I've sent a rebuttal to you when you originally filed the notice of possession. So you're saying you haven't received those?
You send the difficulty is you send things in and they don't necessarily come to me.
Well, it's got your name on it.
But that doesn't mean it comes to me though.
Well, what's the point of having your name on it? I'm confused.
Okay, the latest letter you've sent in I have seen.
Oh, so you have seen this with this
I've
one?
I've seen it, yes.
Just the one or was more?
I've just seen that one.
So you haven't seen any more of the letters I've personally sent to you?
No.
Is there an explanation for that?
I don't know. It's like I say, if you send them into another department and another department...
They've got your name on it?
But I don't know them.
But how can you... I don't understand, but if they've...
Okay.
If I put...
Can we not argue over the...
Well, we're not arguing. We're establishing a precedent. I'm asking that you've done due diligence. I've said to you, I've responded to everything that you've sent. You've just said that you haven't been receiving them. So I'm confused.
You tell me what you've sent in.
Right, off the top, you've got my subject. It should be on the system all in front of you. In front of the computer, right in front of your screen.
The difficulty is different departments have different access to different systems, so that's not always the case.
So you're telling me that you've been doing all this without having all the full information, which is the lack of due diligence, which is what I said.
Okay. The reason I wanted to speak to you is because you're not even paying the rent element of your...
You've issued a notice of possession 1 year ago. Why haven't you filed that notice of possession with the court?
Because I'm aware that there's an ongoing thing with the service charge.
For a year?
I don't deal with the service charges, it's another department.
But then how can you compare the service charges to the rent? What is my monthly rent, please?
So your monthly rent works out to $417.99.
And that's my monthly rent?
Yeah. Your rent is $96.46.
And what's it with the other charges?
So there's a service charge showing of £30.35 per week.
And can you break down what those service charges are for, please?
You want that as a monthly figure?
Well, I'd like some information, you see, because... Are you aware what a Section 22 notice is?
No.
Do you not aware of Section... Do you know what a DSR is?
No.
Do you know what a subject access request is?
Yes, I'm aware what that is.
Well, that's a DSR.
Okay, well, if you say it in the full terms, I may know what you're referring to.
Oh, do you know what a Section 22 of the 1995 Housing and Tenants Act? Is that better for you?
I don't, no, I don't.
Well, do you deal with this? I'm quite surprised that you don't know what a Section 22 notice is. A Section 22 notice is when you provide me all the evidence of the things that you're claiming for, and you've refused to respond to a Section 22 notice, and you respond to a subject access request.
Something like that wouldn't come to me. Something like that would go to our data protection team.
Well, if it doesn't come... No, that's a DSR. Section 22 notice has been sent to you directly. I've sent this paperwork to you.
I haven't received that, but it wouldn't come to me. If it came into via our post, it would be sent to our data protection team, who would deal with that.
What, a Section 22 notice with your name addressed on it would go to a
Yes, because that's the department that would deal with it.
I don't think you fully understand it. I've addressed everything you've said. I've rebutted your notice of possession a year ago. I've rebutted everything you've said. You've got plenty of documents. You've got everything in front of you on the computer. You've got a subject access request and a Section 22 notice that you've refused to honour. And you're coming to me saying to me, this is the exact numbers and the exact figures, when you don't have them and you haven't performed due diligence.
Okay, well, I can only tell you what I'm aware of, and that is that the service charge team have an ongoing query, which I have escalated to my manager and the manager above that.
Who's that, please?
My manager is Mark Shenton.
And the one above that, please?
Is Amy... Let me just get a surname for you.
Amy, it won't be Jennings, by any chance, Jenkins, by any chance, would it?
No.
Is it Jennings?
Broadbent.
Oh, Broadbent. And their title, please.
So Amy is Senior Hang on a second, I've got to find it for you. I don't know, just like that.
If you could do, please.
What I'm asking you is it in the interim?
Can you please not call me? Could you refer to me as Mark, please? I'm not a Lord, a Duke, or any other title. I don't feel I need.
No.
I don't feel I need.
Your preference. I was just being polite.
But that's not polite, so please. Was you being polite when you turned up at my property without going for a mental health team? Was that class?
I wasn't aware of that you had a mental health support worker at that point in time.
So again, it's not on the computer system that's in front of your eyes now.
It's on the computer system now. It wasn't previously.
So there's been no previous. So at the time when you came to this property, there was nothing on the system about you not coming here about my mental health. No. I can honestly tell you that because I wasn't aware. Well, can you give me the date that you turned up here, please?
I can't, no, not just like that.
Well, when can you do it?
Just a second and I'll find it for you. I'm just trying to find Amy's title for you. I can do one thing at a time.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was just saying, it's hard to get you on the phone, and since you came here with the deliberate intent to cause me malicious harm to my mental health, you shouldn't have come to this property. And so I'm just trying. It's been the first time I've tried to get you on the phone. If you're not, it's in the video. When you came here, I tried to call to you, but Susie, the receptionist, wouldn't put me through to you, and said that you should have given me your personal.
Why would I see a video? How would that come to me?
Well, because all these videos that I've put have been your CEO, Ruth Cook, knows about all this. There's loads of you're saying you're making judgments on things when you haven't got all the information.
I came to see you to try and gain some information.
I think you must understand. You are not allowed to come to this property.
I'm aware of that now, and I wouldn't be doing that.
Well, you wouldn't be doing it now. You shouldn't have been doing it then. You could have checked.
Like I say, that information wasn't available to me.
Well, can you explain this, please, just before you do that? I've made 2 complaints about you, 3 videos, naming you personally, sent loads of documents to you. You're saying you haven't received them and you don't know anything about any of these.
I can't explain it to you, no, because I haven't seen them. I've said to you I've seen a recent one. Okay, so Amy's title is Senior Income Manager.
Yeah.
Okay, and Mark Chinton, who's my manager, his title is, he's Customer Accounts Team Leader.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, and the person in the service charge team that we've been trying to engage with, it's Hannah Cairns.
Hannah, who is this? The service charge? Is this you? I've not engaged with this. You've engaged with her or I've engaged with her?
I've been trying to engage with her to sort the service charges out.
Is Hannah the one that's been contacting me?
No, that's Hannah Parkin.
No, that's Hannah Hickman.
Myself
and Hannah Hickman and myself have been trying to engage with the service charge team to try and get to the bottom of what's going on with these service charges.
Let me help you out a second. What's happened is you're a charity who charges for services and things that you don't provide or you don't maintain. You've now filed a complaint and you've had to remove some of the service charges from this property. So you're now saying that you're not in full picture of what's going on. So I don't understand how you can engage with me because you don't have a clue what's going on.
Different departments do different things, Mark.
You turned up at this property.
Okay,
so you must have
had my hand up and said I wasn't aware of, when I came to your property, of your situation.
And what if you...
And I will apologise for that. However...
Again, you should look on the systems. I don't accept the apologies.
The system, it wasn't recorded on our system at that point in time.
But that's a lie.
Okay, well all I can tell you is I didn't see that information.
Well, you can say that you didn't, but I've already filed a complaint. You must be protected from high upon high. I've made 2 complaints from you. I've made 3 videos, and still you don't even make it into the stage 1 complaint process or the stage 2 complaint process. In fact, everybody's done everything to make sure that your evidence and what you've done has gone missing.
Okay, I don't know what you're talking about because I've not been...
There's 2 complaints on your system.
Yeah, but when things come in as a complaint, they go to our customer care department.
The complaints are about you.
They may be about me, but they don't necessarily come to me.
So you're saying you don't know nothing about any complaints or anything like that?
I've seen the recent one.
So now you've seen the complaint. You just said you hadn't.
I said to you when I first came on the phone I'd seen your recent one.
Not complaint, you said letter.
Well, same thing, I assume.
Do you think a letter and a complaint are the same thing? No doubt you think
Mark,
I can...
I don't want to argue with you.
Well, it's not arguing. I'm just trying to get... It's for me to get you on...
You're spinning me in circles. I can't answer the things that you're asking me.
That's because, like I said, you're approaching this and you don't have all the facts. In fact, you barely have any of the facts.
Mark, I'm going to go away. I'm going to speak with my manager with regard to the situation.
Yeah.
I've advised you of your rent. I've asked you if you could pay your rent element.
Hang on a sec. Let's discuss the arrears first. Have you honoured the Section 22 notice?
The Section 22 notice wasn't sent to me.
It wasn't sent to you, but this is what tells me what the service charges are. You can't give me the exact figures of what the service charges are.
Did you get your rent increase letter? Because it would have been on there.
Oh, you mean the letter that's come from your department with your records and with your scripted narrative? That letter, you mean?
The letter that would have come from the service charge team around February time.
But where are we standing court-wise then? When are you going to file the paperwork with the court? Because you're running out of time
We're not going to at this point.
Yeah, I thought you might know. We both know why as well, don't we?
Okay.
Because you'll lose. Because what you do, the paperwork, your own paperwork that you're responsible for, is in breach of the 1988 Housing Act. Do you know what the 1988 Housing Act is?
Yes.
Do you know what paragraph 4 is?
Not off the top of my head.
Well, I suggest you go and have a look, and then compare it against your own paperwork. Because the point I'm trying to make here, you are completely incompetent. You won't perform any due diligence, and you're saying, how am I going to pay my arrears? But you can't explain these arrears to me, can you?
All I can say to you, I can tell you what the arrears figure is, but I don't believe that's true because I said to you, now I'm aware of this query with the service charges.
When did you become aware of this query with the service charges?
Fairly recently.
Fairly recently. You filed your notice of possession on the 28th of July 2025, a year ago. Are you going to play in ignorance for a whole year? Cat got your tongue.
Okay. You just want to argue with me?
No, I just want some questions.
Like I said to you, Miss, I can't.
Again, I'm not Mr. Please don't refer to me as
Miss. 62s and stuff like that. That hasn't come to me. That wouldn't come to me because it's not my department.
So you're telling me I know more about your job than what you do?
Okay. I'm going to end this conversation.
Of course you are, because you've got nothing to say.
Okay, all right then. Well, I'm going to report back to my manager.
You can report it to anybody you want. I suggest you report it to the court and file the paperwork that you served on me a year ago.
We won't be doing that, sir.
Yeah, we know why, don't we?
Okay.
We both know why you won't be doing that. Because you'll lose.
Thank Laura for calling me. And then
thank you.
Angela, I might just let you know that this man Granville, who was meant to be coming to do a gas inspection, hasn't turned up.
Okay. Are you able to ring the contact centre? Because I don't have any dealings with that department. We're such a big organisation.
You're such a corrupt organisation.
I'll email Hannah because she was the one sorting it out.
So unlucky.
Is it the annual gas check?
Yeah,
it's the check where you want to try and achieve ground 12 of your own eviction. That's the check you're looking for.
Okay. I'll send an email to the gas team, but if you want to try the contact centre as well, that'd be my best advice.
It's my best advice, file the paperwork.
Okay.
I'm not to miss that Lord, the Duke or any other title. How many times do you need to be told?
Okay. Alright then. Thank you then. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Now that I enjoyed that.